I want to bring in somebody who knows Texas, who knows this town well, Texas State Representative Chris Turner. He's the chair of the Democratic Caucus in the Texas House of Representatives. Thank you so much for being with us. I know it has been just an excruciating couple of days for you.
Well, thank you, Hallie. Thank you for having me on. And yeah, it's been a tough few days in Texas.
Yeah. You're a Democrat in a state that is controlled at every level of Texas' government by Republicans. You, I know, want Governor Abbott to act in response to this shooting. Would you like to see the Texas State House is not even in session until January? Do you want to see the governor hold a special session to talk about this? Do you think that's realistic?
Yeah, well, I think that's what should happen. You know, in 2019, when we saw 23 people murdered at a Walmart in El Paso by a mass shooter, we, the Democratic Caucus, called for Abbott to call a special session to enact very specific reforms. We want to close the background check loophole, ban high-capacity magazines, ban the open carrying of assault rifles in public, enact extreme risk protective orders, i.e. red flag laws, and a couple of other things. The governor ignored our demand for action. And instead, in the next regular session in 2021, he and Republicans responded by further weakening what gun laws we do have in Texas, specifically passing a permitless carry bill to where now someone does not have to have any training or a license to carry a handgun in the open or concealed. So Republicans under Greg Abbott have taken us the wrong direction. And meanwhile, we continue to have these horrific tragedies like we saw this week in Uvalde.
One of my colleagues, I don't think you were probably watching the show when he came on, Garrett Haake, who is headed to the NRA convention in Houston. Before he left, Uvalde spoke with Congressman Gonzalez, who represents the area of the region. And we heard that sound when Garrett repeatedly asked, why is it that an 18-year-old can get an assault weapon in this state? No answer from Representative Gonzalez. Do you think 18-year-olds should be able to get assault weapons in Texas?
No, I do not. I think that if you have to be 21 to buy alcohol or cigarettes, I think you should be 21 at least to buy an assault weapon like an AR-15, like this killer bought. And so I think that's something we should do in Texas, and I hope Congress does it too, because apparently it's the case in many states that you can buy these weapons at age 18.
Let me pick up this thread with you that we started our show with, which was the news conference that we heard from law enforcement officials in Uvalde about what had happened. There have been, as you, I'm sure, are well aware, gaps in the timeline even now regarding the police response to this incident. Will you be calling for, do you have plans to call for an investigation into the police response, into what specifically happened and finding out more as this shooting unfolded?
Yeah, there are a lot of questions about what happened on Tuesday and what the response was from law enforcement. And frankly, there have been contradictory statements issued now by Department of Public Safety between yesterday and today. Those questions have to be answered. So we need to see a comprehensive timeline and an explanation of what exactly happened. This window of 40 to 60 minutes, as the DPS director described, that's inexplicable, I think, for a lot of people, that length of time, but also the imprecision of that time estimate, 40 to 60 minutes, demands some answers. So absolutely, I think I speak for myself, my colleagues, and all Texans. We want to see answers and a thorough explanation.
Texas State Representative Chris Turner, thank you very much for joining us. I should note he is not the only one looking for answers.